I'm Richard.
And I'm Will.
And together we're
the Irreverent Nerds. Bum, bum, bum.
Hey, fellow nerds. Richard, your host here with my co-host, Will Boyer, and our special guest this week, Zac Williams. So I've got my two closest friends here, Zac and Will.
Hi.
We have known each other for over 10 years. So yeah, I'm excited. The three of us are going to be talking about Dragonball Z here in just a few minutes. So tune in for that.
The dragon.
Yep. We're going to wake the dragon. Or the Goku.
Rocket too.
Or the Vegeta, as they told me how to pronounce this. Vegeta.
Have you watched this show?
I'm sorry. I can't help but think of Mrs. Doubtfire and Euphegenia just a little bit.
What?
No.
You ain't right, son.
I'm going to give these guys a little bit of a hard time, but mostly I'm just excited to find out about something that's meaningful and important to both of them. So yeah, look for that. Before we jump into that, though, we've got a little bit of podcast news to get to here. So first of all, we surpassed 200 downloads this past week, which in podcast land is not a lot, but like every little milestone when you're getting some off the ground is encouraging. So thank you to all of you who have listened over these past few months. I think according to Anchor, it sounds like we have about 10 regular listeners, like an audience of 10 that are tuning in more than once. So to each of you, 10 wonderful people, thank you so much for tuning in. But we had more than 100 individual listeners who've tuned in, including someone from Hong Kong and someone from Germany. So if you guys are listening tonight, unfortunately, I don't know how to say hello or welcome in either language. So I'm just going to say welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So in other news, we have a Facebook fan page now. It is simply titled The Irreverent Nerds. So if you guys prefer getting on oh yeah, that's true. Probably do need to copyright that. Shh. If you guys prefer Facebook over Instagram, you can connect with us there now. You can send us a message through the page there if you want to direct message us. I believe over Facebook Messenger, you can send videos now as well. And since we will at least occasionally be doing video podcasts, not necessarily every episode, like we're going to do audio as our main gig, but from time to time, we probably will still do a video episode. But definitely audio messages. You can send us a message, drop us a line, file a complaint, whatever you'd like to do. We welcome the feedback.
We're also working on carrier pigeons.
That's right.
True.
And of course, they're going to talk with a New York accent when they come and get your message. It's from a movie somewhere. I can't remember what.
It's Animaniacs.
Is it? Oh, yes. You're right. Pinky.
Wrong character.
Well, they were in the Animaniacs. Remember, it was a vignette within the Animaniacs episode was Pinky and the Brain. Then they had a spinoff where they had their own show. So, gosh.
Then they had Goodfeathers.
Goodfeathers?
Goodfeathers.
I'm not familiar with that one. You'll have to tell me about that sometime.
Good.
Okay.
The Mafia Pigeons.
The Mafia Pigeons. Okay. It's been so long since I've seen Animaniacs. Anyway, fellow nerds,
I derailed you so bad.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what we do here. So yeah, we've got the Irreverent Nerds fan page, and then obviously you can still connect with us on Instagram at irreverent_nerd. And guys, we really do want to build a community up here. We've got dreams and goals for how that's going to look long term, but for now it's Instagram, Facebook. You can leave us the voice message at our Anchor profile, anchor.fm/irreverent nerd. We'd love to hear what you think, hear your thoughts on any given topic. If you know what's coming up and you want to possibly squeak in and get included in the episode, send us a message leading up to it. Or if you want to comment on a previous episode, and we'll as long as you don't use like really bad profanity, you know what I mean. The F word's okay, but yeah,
What?
certain
Is there something worse than that?
arguably yes, I would say so. But as long as it's reasonably acceptable comment, we will include it in a future episode.
No dolphin squeaks from SpongeBob. Yeah.
Oh,
those were good. That was good stuff back in the day as a kid. I always felt like I was part of something I wasn't supposed to be part of.
How old are you, Zach? I grew up with Ren and Stimpy. Beavis and Butthead.
I was right there after that generation. We're like, that's why when we get to Dragonball Z today, that's why it's such a big deal. It's like we didn't have anything that we weren't supposed to watch. It just some things felt like that. Like Rocko's Modern Life was one of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was probably too old for it when it came on, but I do remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
I have this theory
I don't think your parents would have let you watch that.
Probably not. Well, I don't know. I might have been a teenager at that point. So I'm a little older than both these guys, if y'all don't know. But I have this theory that TV generations are like 5 years. You know what I mean? As opposed to like 30 years for like biological generations. I feel like TV generations are like five years. What do you guys think? Every 5 years, it's like if you have a 5-year age gap, it's like sometimes you didn't grow up watching the same cartoons, sometimes,
Maybe. I think, but it's like changing also. Like the Gen Zers right now, they didn't watch any cartoons.
True.
Wow.
I guess I hear that, but the ice cream truck is in my neighborhood. I'm very tempted to. I know it's like
I'm gonna run out there. Like, hey,
got my $5 for your single scoop of ice cream.
Oh man, I used to love I think it was banana fudge pops, and they had this one in my neighborhood it was shaped like a baseball glove, but it was like banana fudge flavor. That thing was good.
Wow, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I missed out on that. Too busy getting the TMNT head melting down the stick.
Oh yeah, I remember those too. Yeah. Did they still?
Yeah, banana.
Yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle heads. Yep. I wonder if they still have those. That'd be funny.
This might
still
be
popular, so
this might be kind of local to North Carolina where we're at, but my favorite cookout milkshake is the banana fudge.
Nice.
Yes. Mine is peach cobbler.
Try that.
Yeah, and we do like I like to think that we are nerd talk, with I don't know a better word than this, local flair, local emphasis, local, like we interviewed a local comic book writer and editor last week, Dan Johnson, and hoping to do more of that. And obviously, Zach, you're local.
Yep.
Speaking of which, that's probably a good transition to my buddy Zach here. I have known Zach since 2010, and like he initiated our friendship, and we went on our first date a few weeks after that. As we like to say, our second date was 5 hours long and went into the wee hours of the morning. And
no, I didn't even get any booty out of it.
No booty call there. No, if I remember correct, we just talked about the Bible for 5 hours, which we both thoroughly enjoyed. Like just talking about stuff that was important to us at that time, and just like, yeah. Anyway, so going on 12 years now. 12 years in July, I think. And so Zach, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, what you care about, what you're up to now, that kind of thing.
Well, keep it short. I was born here in Winston-Salem. I love it. I love it here. Like the city of Winston-Salem has so many warm places and places that still kind of need to be redeemed in my mind a little bit, but I've loved it here. And then so much so that I ended up starting a business here. I'm one of the owners of the Struggle Bus, which is a local mobile coffee and espresso unit here in Winston-Salem. We make handcrafted espresso drinks. What I'm drinking right now is an amaretto sweet cream cold brew, made with oat milk. I wish I had like a cool glass. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Like I didn't like oat milk I didn't like cold brew until I started making it, and I was like, oh, everyone else is doing it wrong. Well, I didn't understand. It didn't take. It tastes watered down, and then I realized in the process that not to nerd out too much, but if I'm going to nerd out, this seems like a safe.
Yeah, man, this is the place to do it.
But like if you when you brew coffee, the hot water and the steam is cooking the bean more, making it a little bit more bitter. When you cold, and it's like kind of brewing the flavor out of the bean, where it's like kind of getting into the middle of that bean and saying, "Give me that flavor," and then it kind of bruises the flavor. That's where you get that bitter taste from. But cold brew, you kind of just drop the coffee in the water. You just let it sit for 24 hours instead of like brewing the flavor out of it in 5 minutes. It's kind of massaging the flavor out over the course of 24 hours. It is a lot less bitter. It's easier to do all kinds of things with cold brew than so anyway. I just learned about cold brew like a year ago. I own a coffee shop and I just learned about cold brew, right? I'm a loser, but now I love it. I drink it every day. So it's good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, and I have tasted some of their coffee offerings as well, and I can vouch for it. It's good stuff. So hey, if you're listening and you're in the Winston-Salem area, check out their Instagram. Is it at Struggle Bus?
It's at the Struggle Bus 21 on Instagram and on Facebook. We thought about starting a Snapchat. It just hadn't happened yet. It's just too much, man. It's too much.
Yeah. It's a lot to keep track of.
I feel like there's an age limit to Snapchat. No offense to you guys that are old and think you're still cool, but I feel like there's an age gap to Snapchat. I'm just not there.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Like I got on briefly and had like 2 conversations. That was about it.
Yeah. So Yep. So that's what I do. I make coffee and sell it and talk to people and hang out.
Well, cool. Well, Zach, it's good to have you with us. And one thing I did forget in our opening session here, I wanted to give a shout out to our first monthly sponsor for the Irreverent Nerd podcast, and that is Lars DeSenza. He's the host of the Red Shirt Geeks and Treknicity. So check him out on Instagram. Just look him up, Lars DeSenza at Red Shirt Geeks, and then at Treknicity. They also have a YouTube page. They're on Twitch. So they talk about Star Trek. They live stream gaming, all that kinds of stuff. But Lars has been very generous. We did a cross promotion a couple weeks ago with our 2 podcasts, our 2 platforms, and he and I have just been talking back and forth and sharing tips on content creation and tech stuff, all that. So Lars, thank you so much. And yeah, guys, go check out his stuff online. So shout out to Lars. And also something we may do time to time when we do a video episode, and not sure yet whether this one's going to get uploaded as video. We're doing this over Zoom because of Will. Will's sick. He couldn't control it. It's his fault.
Shame on Will.
See, you get to see her. You might get to see her.
Me licking faces. Toilets, doing those TikTok challenges, licking those toilets. Yeah, shame on you, Will.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Oh man,
that makes a lot of sense.
That makes me think of an Andy Griffith movie, which was also from North Carolina. Shout out. But it was called No Time for Sergeants. This is an old classic. I think it's before. I think it might have been before his the Andy Griffith Show days. But he was this kind of bumbling, lovable idiot character, similar to Gomer Pyle, like in this movie. And he takes everything super seriously. He's in the military. I think it's supposed to be World War II. And he's like cleaning the latrines, and he's just like, he's wanting to do the best job you've ever seen cleaning the latrines. But these latrines is like a whole row, and all the seats somehow are connected. And I don't know why this is, but you have a foot pedal that you could push down and lift all the seats up at once. So his commanding officer comes in and he stands to attention, and then he puts his foot on and lifts all the seats up to like double salute his commanding officer. It just made me think of that.
That's hilarious.
I haven't seen the movie in a long time. But yeah, another North Carolina native. Shout out. But yeah, I think all three of us were born here in Winston-Salem, I believe. Like probably at the same hospital. Yeah, I was born here too, technically. We moved when I was really young, so I don't remember Winston-Salem the first time around. But moved back about, it's been 21 years ago now. Met you two losers along the way. So
nerds, we're nerds.
That's right. Nerds.
It's me, a loser.
Irreverent Nerds.
It's me, a loser.
Well, let's see.
Bill, I can't wait for you to start drinking, man. I'm going to be there for it.
Will doesn't need alcohol. He gets high on life or low on life. Maybe that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No.
I have depression. So, I don't need more things.
That's true. You don't need more. You don't need more downers. No more downers. Isn't there one type of alcohol?
I have mental health issues.
Is it tequila? Is it tequila that's an upper? I think that's like the only alcohol that's an upper. No? What is it?
Really?
No alcohol. No alcohol is an upper.
I didn't think so. Somebody told me that the other day. I was like, that doesn't really make sense, but
no, it doesn't. I didn't know that alcohols were downers or uppers.
Yeah, generally speaking, they're
except
downer.
For women. It tends to make women never mind. I forget about the audience sometimes.
I mean,
we're nerds. We don't know anything about women.
Oh yeah. Well, the very first episode, I made a decision to let everybody know that I was a virgin until I got married. So, if that doesn't punch my nerd card, I don't know what else would. But
oh yeah, you get free nerd sandwiches at the Nerd Cafe.
Yeah.
Really? Are they good? Let's go right now.
Oh man. So yeah, we what's I gonna say? Anyway, let's get into our main topic. So we're here to talk about Dragon Ball Z. That's what this episode is about. So hey guys, I have never watched a full episode of Dragon Ball Z. I've seen clips. Obviously, I've heard of it. Where do I start? I mean, do I start with the first episode? I mean, that would make sense, but like,
what is the first episode?
What is Dragon Ball Z? Like, because we might have a few listeners who are like, "What is that?" Or maybe they have heard of it, but like me, didn't. Other than Goku, I think Goku was the only character name I knew until a couple days ago. Sorry if that revokes my nerd card in part, but so
no, it just makes you extra nerdy.
Tell me about it, guys.
Well,
I'll let you all figure out who goes first. You can hash it out.
Well,
should we start with Dragon Ball?
I don't think so, because nobody did, except for like old heads like you. Yeah.
Well, I jumped into Dragon Ball earlier the end of last year, and that really helped put things in context. I mean, I had previously 20 years ago watched up to the Red Ribbon Army arc, but only just recently I finally got to Piccolo Daimyo and stuff and finished the whole thing.
Yeah, I think like so. Okay, so like if you're gonna watch Dragon Ball Z for entertainment value, it's almost like you missed because it taking it out of its age that we found it in. You're not going to be able to experience it the same way. Dragon Ball Z is great. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a new movie coming out later this month. I think it's this month. It might be early next month. I can't remember. My brother already has the tickets bought for us, and I've already paid for them. But
cool.
Yeah. So I just don't remember when the date is. But the thing is like, man, I was in middle school, late elementary school. we would get off the bus and we would come home and we'd go outside and play, or we'd do our homework, then go outside and play. Then all the kids in the neighborhood, I lived in like a pretty like bigger neighborhood. All the kids in the neighborhood went home or to each other's houses at 4:30, I think it was, or 4 o'clock, can't remember, and watched Dragon Ball Z. You did not miss it. You did not miss it. You put your Game Boy down, you cut the PlayStation off. Like nobody was jumping on trampoline, nobody was playing football. The little girls were not outside jumping hopscotch. Everybody went and watched Dragon Ball Z. And so, like, because if you didn't watch it, then you couldn't talk to anybody at school the next day. Because you're at the lunchroom, they're talking about Dragon Ball Z. You're going to class, you're talking about Dragon Ball Z. People got Dragon Ball Z lunch boxes. People got Dragon Ball Z book bags. Dragon Ball Z fresh kicks on their feet, wearing shirts. Everybody had the coolest shirts with Dragon Ball Z. It was, for Halloween, everybody dressed up as Dragon Ball Z characters. So, like, for you to start now, you would have to look at it the same way, like, my 18-year-old brother would have to look at The Office. You have to understand it in the context of time that it came out in. Because it's not going to jump out to you and say, be amazing at first sight. You're going to, and it's not just nostalgia, but it is also nostalgia. You experience everything by what you're experiencing it, by the context you're experiencing it in. So, like, to talk about Dragon Ball Z and try to introduce you to it right now, it would be harder for you to get involved than it would be for Will to get more involved. You know what I mean?
No.
So
you're talking about Richard specifically, not you in general.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Richard specifically. I'm sorry. Yeah, it'd be harder for Richard to
Let's watch the thing, Richard.
It'd be harder for Richard to watch the thing than for, like, it would be more likely that Will would watch the new Dragon Ball Super or finish Dragon Ball than it would be for you to pick it up and watch it, Richard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense. So Zach, I know you went to public school majority of your coming up years, but Will, you spent most if not all of your school years were in private school. Was your experience?
Yes, all.
Was your experience as you were watching it, was it different? Did you have one or two friends that you could talk to about it? So I imagine that the cultural impact at your school might have been a little different with the Dragon Ball Z by comparison.
Yeah. I want to talk about that. But right before we do that, Zach, do you remember what year the English dub of Dragon Ball Z first episode came on TV here in America? I'm gonna say it was the late '90s, but I can't remember right now.
It was on Toonami.
Yeah.
Now that's how I experienced it. Was on Toonami. It was 1998.
Yeah, me too. Okay, 98.
So I was 9 years old.
Yeah, that was my first introduction. I saw the very first episode on Toonami, and I just couldn't remember if that was 98 or 99. I had a small group of friends, and I don't remember. I switched schools around 98, 99. I don't remember talking about Dragon Ball Z or anything in association of my time at the elementary school. I think it was just the high school, the junior high I transferred to, but I don't remember. Maybe it was just because I had only that small group of friends I was friends with. Basically just two friends in the high school was basically all I had. And then I had outside of the high school, I had two other friends, and shout out to them. My three closest friends were from the elementary school. One of them followed me to high school, and I met a new friend. But so I think out of that group of me plus those four people, I think me and three of them might have liked. Yeah, I think we all. I think four of us out of the five like Dragon Ball Z, and I don't remember Dragon Ball Z being. I think I was older than you, Zach, at the time, because I was in about ninth grade, I think, when Dragon Ball Z came out. So I was about, like you said the other day, 14. I kind of remember Pokemon being a bigger deal among my peers than Dragon Ball Z was, but yeah, we enjoyed it. I don't really remember a lot of conversations about it, except we I tried to get everybody into this tabletop Dragon Ball Z game. Didn't pan out. I ended up playing it by myself. It was like Dungeons and Dragons, except with Goku. But
I would be interested in playing that with you.
You guys should get a retro copy.
I might still have it.
There you go.
I don't know. If I don't have it, Goodwill has it somewhere.
Game night. We can live stream it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. One of you can explain the math to me. I never figured it out. The math of character stats.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
So, if you were going to start Dragon Ball Z, Richard,
Mm-hmm.
I would say you would start with friends and watching it with some friends. I would not.
Yeah.
I mean,
friends that really enjoyed it, like if the three of us sat down and watched a couple episodes sometime, that would be fun. Actually, I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm cool with that. You guys are more than welcome to come up here on the big screen and we can jam out.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Dragon Ball Z.
That'd be fun.
So at different points in my life, I've watched Dragon Ball Z during major transition points. So I just got married 2.5 months ago. Shout out to marriage.
Woo-hoo. Congrats.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would do it again. I'll drink to that. But I had to. It was a little difficult, so I had to watch some Dragon Ball Z to kind of get through it.
Transition is tough. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm coming up on my 7-year anniversary here next week, actually. So that initial transition is
May
24th.
Tough.
May 23rd. Yeah.
May 23rd. So, yeah. So, that it was rough, man. Because we did the Christian thing and didn't live together till after we got married, and then it was both of us was the first person we ever lived with after we of the opposite sex, and so it was a little getting used to there, So
first year's always the hardest.
First year is the hardest. I'm sorry. So back to Dragon Ball Z. Will, did you have a favorite character growing up, or do you have a favorite character now?
Yeah. Well, obviously Goku, but past that, it's jumped between characters. I liked Krillin for a while. Piccolo was a favorite. I remember specifically going out of my way to make sure I got the Piccolo, gold Piccolo plastic statue from Burger King. You remember that?
From Burger King.
Yeah,
Oh man, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Steve and me,
Yes.
I gave all my stuff to Goodwill when I got married, but
Oh no.
I
I
wonder
know.
how much that's worth now. That's
I'll
crazy.
never know.
So I have a question for you guys. What the fuck is a Saiyan?
All right.
Slap you for fighting.
Slap my evil French tongue.
Oh my gosh, Richard.
You disrespect the Saiyajin. Well, that's what we are. We're irreverent.
Well, I said Saiyan
wow.
yesterday when we were talking about it, and Zach corrected me. It's Saiyan. At least in America, it's pronounced
Saiyan.
Yeah.
Is it
Saiyan, I'm like,
Saiyan in
Because
Japan?
I was thinking of it in like a Japanese accent, like Saiyan.
Really?
That's how
I
I
thought
was
he.
like. And I was
Is that
also
correct?
I was reading on Wikipedia, so I was like looking at how they pronounced it or how they like spell it. It said Saiyajin. Is
I thought you were just bought a Toyota.
Saiyajin Toyota.
Well, I don't know. That sounds more correct than
Toyota
earlier.
Scion.
By the way,
I have a sign off.
if anyone is listening who's of Japanese descent, apologies for the
We
accent.
apologize.
I know it's bad. I mean, no offense. Truly,
Bad.
I don't, because we love all things Japanese culture. Will especially, the Japanese
love you.
culture nerd. But
We love you long
Obviously,
time.
yes,
that's terrible.
you guys
Obviously-
come out with good stuff like Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
I
So
want to go to Japan.
That would be cool. I
Richard-
would love to go there too.
Yeah.
you ask what
Well,
a
I never
Saiyan is.
returned.
And,
I don't have the money to come back.
All right. Yes, I asked what is a Saiyan, and how is that relevant to Dragon Ball Z?
Well, Zach, how about I give a quick preface and you answer the rest of the question? Is that cool?
yes, preface away, my friend.
Well, the concept of Goku, the Monkey Boy, was based on Journey to the West and the Monkey King. But within the Akira Toriyama took it from there and eventually revealed Goku's race many chapters or seasons into Dragon Ball when it officially transitioned into the Dragon Ball Z series, and Saiyans are.
That's your cue, Zach.
Did I confuse
I'm
you?
sorry. I was thinking. I was looking. Does Akira Toriyama make anything else? I was just googling. I don't know if he's
Does he hang
involved
out?
in any other writing or anything, but I know that he's like very much hands on. The only Dragon Ball like content.
Oh,
creator.
yeah.
So and I mean, not other people have, and they've really. I mean, and Dragon Ball Z is not like the whole Dragon Ball saga is not something that's like very well thought out. Akira Toriyama will like clearly forget stuff over and over and over again. Like Goku and Vegeta can't grow hair. Sometimes they just have like in Dragon Ball Super, there's a scene with them having beards. It's like he forgets stuff, but like when he's not involved, the plot line really goes downhill. Except for with one, and that was with the Goku Black saga and Dragon Ball Super, which you haven't seen yet, Will. And I'm telling you,
Right,
brother,
so-
that's a good series.
Is that not in the manga? Is that not Akira Toriyama's creation? I know about Goku Black. I haven't seen it yet.
It is in the manga. I believe it's in the manga. I'm looking right now. Yeah, it's in the manga, but like
Okay.
there's a few things that take place in that saga where it's not cohesive, and it's also moves away from the traditional like perspective with Dragon Ball Z. So like he explores PTSD with Trunks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
So-
very Toriyama-like.
Yeah, it's a little less kiddie and playful, and a little more,
Yeah.
a lot more at stake. So
So who is? Oh, okay, I see. So the manga series was the one created by Toriyama. But I'm seeing here the TV show itself was written by Takao Koyama, directed by Daisuke Nisho. But did they in each episode did they give Toriyama credit, like, based on the manga created by such and such, or?
I don't remember seeing that as a kid, but the manga and the series are usually pretty close. It's not a whole
Yeah.
lot of distance between them. So
Yeah, so the other guy is probably more of the one who adapted, or maybe they just worked in partnership.
yeah, my nerddom is surrounding the plot line and the character development.
No, that's
I'm less
cool.
on the
That's cool.
behind the scenes side.
I think we got distracted a bit there. You guys were going to
Yeah.
tell me what a Saiyan is. So yeah, and then maybe if you want, you could talk a bit about the Saiyan saga as well.
Well, I can do that for just a second. So, as Will was saying, they conclude the Dragon Ball series, and we start Dragon Ball Z, which is where most of us found our love for the characters and the story first.
That's when it gets
with-
good.
Yes, Dragon Ball is not bad, but it's basically a long introduction, and so you meet Goku, and he now has a son. He's got a wife. He's happy and everything's go lucky. And he goes to meet with his martial arts master Roshi, who is legitimately like a sexual predator. Just gonna be honest, throw it out there. Should probably either one day get like written off the show or some kind of eternal justice besides getting slapped. But you know, I don't understand how Master Roshi hasn't gotten Me Too'd yet, but
because
he
it's
hasn't.
Japan.
I guess it makes me uncomfortable as an adult man watching. So anyway, Master Roshi
that's true.
is having like a birthday party or something. I don't know what he's doing. I can't remember exactly. And they're all there kind of hanging out, and all of a sudden Goku's older brother from a different universe or a different planet just shows up and like basically just cleans house and knocks everybody the fuck out, just completely cleans house and takes Goku's son Gohan and says, I'm going to teach him to be a real warrior because you have taught him to be like, I don't know, not strong. Yeah. So
he's a mama boy.
Reddit's correct?
Yep.
Reddit's.
Yep. So Reddit's explains to us. Yes. Yes, that is Akira Toriyama likes to anyway, about vegetables.
Everyone's named after food and stuff.
Goku, Vegeta.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys,
yes, rice and vegetable.
Just so our audience knows, we're recording this via Zoom, so same thing as with Dan Johnson last week. We have 20-minute segments, so we got about 30 seconds here, and we're gonna stop this, and then we'll pick it back up in a few minutes. In fact, I'll just go ahead and pause there, and then we'll be right back after these messages.
Dick here, asking for your help. I am on the hunt for 2 suspects. They call themselves the Irreverent Nerds, and they are accused of creating an inappropriately entertaining podcast. And they had fun doing it. If there's anything I hate, it's fun. So, will you help me locate these criminals? Their last known locations were www.anchor.fm/Irreverent Nerd, at Irreverent_Nerd on Instagram, and the Irreverent Nerds fan page on Facebook. If you find them, give me a call. Trust me, they won't escape from me.
All right, we're back, and I think we were getting up to you guys telling me what a Saiyan is, and I think we were talking about Reddits when we stopped.
I think we're leading up to it.
Yeah,
so I mentioned them. So like, so they're at Master Roshi's little island, which, by the way, this old man who can't fly rides this old turtle across the ocean to get to the grocery store. Like the plot hole there just doesn't make sense. The island is literally the size of my living room. I mean, and so like they're having a birthday party on it, and Raditz just shows up and cleans house. I mean, this dude, apparently he got picked on a lot growing up, so like he needed a win because he just beat everybody. So he kidnaps Goku's son Gohan, goes back, and then all of a sudden Goku, I didn't even introduce Piccolo. There's this green guy with pointy ears and long fingernails named Piccolo. I'm telling you. He wears like a turban and then like linebacker like shoulder pads. It doesn't make any sense at all. And
they're
at
weight
no
training.
point, yes. But at no point at all, in any point in the series, have we been told why he's green. I don't even think the characters acknowledge that he's green.
What?
And throughout all of Dragon Ball, I don't think they even acknowledge that he's green. And then, I didn't watch Dragon Ball first, so all of a sudden there's this green guy there, and I'm like, and they're not even talking about him.
I'm looking at a picture right now.
Context. That's the context Dragon Ball gives us that we're missing.
It looks like a goblin.
Yeah. So here comes the Green Goblin And
Literally.
And Goku in this orange gi is like, yo, let's go. I need your help. And like everybody's like, I can't believe you're getting help from Piccolo. He's trying to enslave the world. And Goku's like, I need all the help I can get because I'm a good guy. Piccolo's gonna be a good guy too.
I believe in forgiveness from your genocide.
Yes. I mean, like Goku was so basic. I'm telling you, bro, like the whole series, you'll find out Goku very
Got
rarely
dropped
will
on his
surprise you.
head.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if Goku
Literally.
had a Tinder profile, it would say, I like to eat, I like to work out, and there would probably be nothing but pictures of him fishing. Like,
What are
Uh-huh.
question mark?
yeah. So, I mean, yeah,
How did Gohan even happen?
they talk about that in Super, actually, at one point, but
Really?
yeah, because there's some feedback
Will?
coming through.
Yeah, Will, your mic's giving some feedback there. I think it's just banging up against something. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So at one point, it's in the Goku Black series, and Future Trunks gets kissed by Mai, and Goku's like, "Why did you put your lips on hers like that? That doesn't make any sense." And Vegeta says, "You don't know what a kiss is? You have two sons, and you don't know what a kiss is?" And Goku's like, "No, what's a kiss?" So
Hey, Will, I think we lost your audio there. Yeah, like check and see if you're muted. Maybe mute and unmute. I don't know what happened. Did it unplug from your phone? Sorry, guys, technical difficulties here.
we're back. You're back on, Will.
Yeah, I'm hearing something.
Am I back?
Yeah, there we go.
Mhm.
I don't know what
I don't
happened.
know. These are refurbished headsets. Maybe they're no good.
Yeah, he got a new gaming headset. So it looks cool. Looks reminds me of Airwolf. That might be before y'all's time, but
Mhm.
the show I watched as a kid. You should Google it.
I'm rocking the old AirPod.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
I've got my red blue Yeti here.
So
Yeah, why it's red, I don't know.
So Goku and his arch enemy, the big bad guy from the previous series, Dragon Ball. I mean, the whole series basically culminates with Piccolo being the worst person on the planet.
I will inject one thing here, just based on what I read on Wikipedia and what we talked about a little bit yesterday in our prep. Goku, or maybe you're getting up to that. Are you getting up to how Goku came to Earth? Are you getting up to that?
Well, I mean, we can talk about that. So Raditz tells us that his planet was their planet was destroyed by an asteroid, right? And planet Vegeta was destroyed by an asteroid. But what they did was they were interstellar planet traders. So Saiyans were people who would go and, by the way, my wife's home. So if you hear anything, that's her coming in the door. But Saiyans were interplanetary, world traders or interstellar world traders. So they would constantly go and wipe out an entire population by becoming big monkeys in the moonlight and wipe out the entire population.
Wikipedia said great ape, which there is a distinction. So which is it? I guess do they look like Kong? Do they look like Kong, or do they actually call themselves monkeys in the show?
It's both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, they call it Uzaru, and then Frieza calls them the big monkeys.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Uh,
Biologist, just plug your ears for a minute. Sorry, in zoology, those are two very different things. So
it is a cartoon.
Hey, this is a nerd show, so we can
nerd Irreverent Nerd show.
We can nerd out. We can nerd out about many different things. There are two different types of primates. There's monkeys and there's apes.
And then there's spacemen who have tails.
Yes.
Space
So-
Magic. Oh yeah, that's right. Doesn't somebody's tail gets cut off at some point? I remember reading that in my research.
Yes.
Quite a
We're
few of
gonna
them.
Quite a few of them.
Like all of
If
them.
you if you guys want me to give like a breakdown of the whole saga, like the whole series, we're like in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, we might be here a while if we do that.
Yeah. So like, let me just speed it up a little bit. So because Raditz is like he doesn't show up again after the first few episodes. So Raditz tells Goku that he's an alien and he was sent here to enslave the planet, but he's one of the weaker of his people. So he's going to take Gohan because Goku fell on his head as a kid and turned into a good guy. So he's going to take Gohan since Gohan's still has hope of becoming a strong and powerful Saiyan warrior.
Well,
Which is Goku's son.
If only
What?
that had happened to Hitler. Sorry.
Yep.
Actually,
Brain
Hitler makes an appearance in Dragon Ball Z.
Does he really?
Yes, sir.
I
in one
forgot
of the
about
movies.
that.
Mhm.
Wasn't that a Dragon Ball movie, or is that a Dragon Ball Z movie?
It might have been a Dragon Ball movie, but it was Dragon Ball.
I'm pretty
But I
sure.
know for sure Dragon Ball Z. It was Fusion Reborn because like Hell.
Really, I
messes
haven't
up
seen
and,
that
like,
one.
Yeah, so Hell messes up and like all the guys get brought back to life, and all the bad guys in Hell, and so Hitler comes back
Yes.
with his army. Yeah, and Goten and Trunks go Super Saiyan to beat him, and you know they're blonde hair, blue eyed kids, and he's like, "This is." And he says it like I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, "This is ironic that I'm getting beat by 2 of the master race, basically." Because
Oh my gosh, this is
Wow.
was
real.
on.
He's like, I'm
Yeah.
getting beat by 2 aliens.
Yes, I think that's what he
Oh my
says.
gosh,
Yeah,
I have to see this. I don't know. I have to see this now.
Yeah, it's
But
in
yes,
the
hell
movie
is
Wrath of
real
the
in
Dragon.
this series, Richard.
Is it really?
Yeah, we like
do
to
they-
call it Heffel.
Heffel,
Home for
huh?
infinite losers.
Yes.
It's an amusement park, really.
No.
So,
Run by Sideshow Bob. Sorry.
anyway, let me finish up. So
2 demons in Bermuda shorts.
Sounds about right.
it is ran by demons and Bermuda shorts. Anyway,
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
so ogres technically, but
Ogres. Okay.
Oni.
so the
That's a yokai.
the series kind of
yes.
kicks off. The series kind of kicks off with Piccolo has to kill Goku and his brother Raditz while Goku holds him and Vegeta shoots through their chest and kills him. And as in his last breath, Raditz says, you find out that the thing that he's been wearing on his eye this whole time is also a communicating device. And he's communicating with 2 other very powerful Saiyan warriors about these things called Dragon Balls. And as Goku's dying, everybody's like, "Oh no, Goku's dying. He's the best thing that's ever happened to us." They're like, "It's okay. We'll wish you back with Dragon Balls." They're like, "What's a Dragon Ball?" They're like, "Well, Dragon Ball is something that you can grant any wish you want." So these Saiyan warriors are going to come and wish for immortality.
Yeah, and these are not, just for clarification, these are not dragon testicles.
They're wish orbs.
Wish orbs.
Yes. So that is the catalyst for the rest of the series. So really, if that had not happened in that one part where now everyone wants the Dragon Balls, the first I don't know, 4 years of Dragon Ball Z wouldn't have even taken place.
The original
I mean, you
series
wouldn't
wouldn't
get
have
that.
happened.
Yes. Well, yes. So, so then you know Goku, he goes and he trains with a god called King Kai, becomes a great martial artist, and he's wished back to life just in time to go and confront the other 2 Saiyan warriors, but only after they've killed a lot of his friends. So the Earthlings finally win against the evil aliens, but they let one of the aliens go, and now you find out that alien, that Vegeta, has a boss named Frieza, and since he can't get the Earth Dragon Balls because they killed Piccolo, they're going to go to Namek. They're going to go to another planet to get more Dragon Balls. But the Earthlings want to wish their friends back. So they, for some reason, send a 6-year-old and Krillin, the little bald guy, through space with an 18-year-old girl to find the Namekian Dragon Balls, and that is weird. So
we must ask Space Dragon Jesus to bring our friends back to life.
Mm-hmm. So they get to Namek, which is inhabited by a bunch of green Piccolos.
Yes.
And there they meet Frieza. And this is where the series actually gets really good. I think almost everyone I would ask would say that Frieza is the best arc in the show.
Oh, yeah. And Kira Toriyama meant for the whole series to end with this arc, but his publisher wouldn't let him.
Too much money
It's
involved.
so good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, so the Frieza saga was so popular and so well done. My only complaint I've ever had with the whole series is I felt like Vegeta should have been the one to kill Frieza, not Goku. But then you find out Vegeta's son killed Frieza, which is okay, it works. But anyway, so the Frieza saga introduces us to
Frieza
Gohan growing up. So you got this kid. We're all kids when we started watching it, so we all kind of relate to Gohan. He's like the person with whom the series kind of sees through his eyes, up to a point. And so Gohan is grows up a little bit. You see him kind of wrestling with the evils of other people and how it affects him. Then you have real stakes. It's like they have to get their friends back. It's like, how are they going to do that? How are they going to avoid these powers, these people that are just so much stronger than them? Like Frieza is just on a different level to where when they feel his energy, they freeze up. They can't move. So like, what do they do to overcome this? I mean, they're literally like nothing but like bugs on this planet that's not even theirs. And you got this 6-year-old kid, Krillin. I don't know how old he is. He's got to be in his early 20s, late teens. And then Bulma there, and they got to deal with Vegeta, who's angry at them and ready to kill them as soon as he sees them. They got to deal with Frieza, who's infinitely more powerful than Vegeta. And it just felt like, from my perspective as a kid, this show has stakes. It's not like Hey Arnold. No offense, Hey Arnold or Rugrats. Great shows, but they don't have stakes. You're not wondering if this is the only last time you see this character.
Well, at the same time, they have Dragon Balls, so
they can just bring them back.
Yeah, but it looks like Frieza's going to get the Dragon Balls. And so then Goku shows up. But like one of the most brutal scenes in Dragon Ball Z history was when Raccoon snaps Gohan's neck with a knee to the face. And like that's when Goku shows up right after that happens. It's like, really, bro? Like that's crazy. Like you're just going to show up now after your son got his neck snapped? He shows up with sensu beans and heals his son with them.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Yeah, and then Goku goes all out and beats the Ginyu Force. And,
bad guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so Goku shows up, save the day. But the ultimate showdown, Goku versus Frieza. I mean, I remember as a kid, just like when Gohan and Krillin are fighting the Ginyu Force, it was like 7 episodes long. Because, Dragon Ball Z had this notorious where they would just do this for 3 episodes straight.
So tell me we're about to talk about the Frieza power-up.
Yeah, we're getting there. Which was epic. Like the balls on somebody to write that into a series and think kids are going to like it. They literally stared at each other and screamed for 3 episodes straight.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Richard, I got an idea for you, man. We're gonna stand in an alien planet and we're gonna scream at each other for an hour and a half straight.
Back each other up before we fight for 3 episodes.
And kids are gonna line up to watch it.
Love it.
I mean, you would fire me if I told you that was the plan. Like, I would fire you if you came to me with that plan. Like, all right.
Yeah, that's about as oh my goodness. I was just thinking of like bad decisions in cartoon history. 2 Stupid Dogs comes to mind from
Oh my, no, that's worse.
but yeah, it's just like 3 episodes of
Yeah. So anyway, back to the thing. So they so Goku and Frieza's overhyped. Frieza keeps fighting against Gohan, and Piccolo shows up, and Vegeta and Krillin, and then randomly, right as every time that they have Frieza trapped, he transforms. Like, they finally caught up to Frieza. They got him, and he transforms. So then they show up and they start fighting him again, and they catch up to him, and then he freaking transforms again. But now he's way stronger than them. So like, there's no way they can catch up. And then he transforms again just to fucking rub it in. I mean, like, that's crazy. Then, as he's killing Vegeta, Goku wakes up and shows up just in time to hear Vegeta, this proud warrior who served faithfully under Frieza for so long, comes to find out that it wasn't an asteroid that blew up Vegeta's planet. So Vegeta, comes to find out, was actually the prince of the planet Vegeta. And his dad was the boss, the king. And they were subservient to Frieza. But Frieza, fearing the power of the Saiyans, decided to blow the whole planet up. And as a joke that everyone was in on except for Vegeta, didn't tell Vegeta. Instead told him that it was an asteroid. So everyone in the entire empire, Frieza, the Frieza Force, knew that Frieza blew up planet Vegeta except for Vegeta himself. And so he has to, deal with that, and he's telling Goku about it and telling Goku, kill this guy for me. And Vegeta's final dying breath is begging Goku to kill Frieza.
Can I say something right quick? It's really weird. I've been binging Dragon Ball Super, and they changed the canon just a little bit. Apparently, Lord Beerus instructed Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta before he went back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? Retro canon changing.
Man, I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Super in a lot of ways, but they fucked up, in my opinion. The way they changed the history there with because the Bardock series that they posted with Goku's
Oh yeah,
dad,
yeah.
that was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm not big into fan fiction, but even I found fan fiction about Bardock after that came out, that built on that, and they just completely rewrote it like it was nothing. It's almost as bad as Disney did Star Wars. It's horrible, but not at the same level as Disney did Star Wars, because that was pretty bad. But the way that they did that series, where they just threw it all away, it wasn't fun to be a part of. You know what I mean? It just didn't jive. It didn't. Let's see. How do I say this? It's we've come to care about these characters and we know their background. The new Broly movie. It was some cool fight scenes. I didn't like it. I didn't like the movie, man. The original Broly movie is the best Dragon Ball Z movie ever made.
So I haven't seen the new one. I'll look out for that if I get a chance to catch it.
It's a couple years old. I think it came out in 2019. I think, not 100% sure. But yeah.
So I'm gonna stoke a little bit of controversy here, or give you guys a chance to vent, perhaps. What did either of you bother to see the live action Dragon Ball Z movie that came out? What was it, 5-6 years ago?
Darn it, Richard! Gosh darn it!
And if so, what did you think, and how angry did you get?
I think I watched back through that recently, to be honest, just because I could, or at least did a video on it. Well, Akira Toriyama himself said, "I guess it's in the multiverse somewhere." It was terrible. They don't understand Goku. Now that I'm older, I think that sure, why not? You can change it, but make it something more believable for live action. But that wasn't it. That was not it. They could have done
It was
better.
very bad. It was very bad, and
Very bad.
it was.
No,
but
was it
I mean,
was it like M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender bad, or was it worse than that?
it was way
Worse.
Worse.
Yeah,
worse.
like
That is
there's-
pretty bad.
there's-
Shut your mouth.
so like the entertainment value of it is like, all right, if you go into it and you're thinking, okay, so Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, literally Captain Cook himself, is playing Goku, one of the most beloved superheroes of all time, right? It already puts a bad taste in your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like wine that's been left open for 3 days straight. It's just sour. You know?
He showed up on Westworld, the show that I like. He was on there for for a whole season. Anyway, side note.
So Jesse Pinkman is playing Goku. It's extremely whitewashed. It's just, I don't know, man.
Very.
I would rather we not talk about the Dragon Ball series, but we can talk about
Let's not talk about evolution.
Well, let's get into a different controversial topic, one that's more related to Dragon Ball Z. Dub versus like English dub versus English sub. And you guys are on different sides of this, so I'm looking for fight. No.
Yeah.
Well, I do like
dubbed.
English voices.
Yeah.
I do like the English voices. I agree with Zach about it was a woman that voiced Child Goku in the original series, so in the Japanese Dragon Ball Z, they just kept her on. Maybe she just changed her voice a little bit, but it was still high-pitched woman kind of sound, I guess.
Yeah, it was rough.
But I don't like the censoring. That's my only thing. They chop the story up for censor reasons, and you just miss a lot. You miss certain things. I don't mind them chopping out Master Roshi's being a pervert, but there are some things that bother me, like, oh, we can't see Raditz hit Gohan. We just have to assume it happened, stuff like that. But eventually censoring, I think the censoring goes away by the Android saga or something, for the most part.
So when they did the English dub for American television, they cut certain things out to give it what like a Y7 rating or something like
that. There was nudity in the original Dragon Ball. It was a comedy, not more than an action, I think. But Zach, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I never saw it any other way. I mean, my birth into the Dragon Ball universe happened with, as a kid, and I remember they would say cuss words. And I was just like, man, I'm not supposed to be watching this. Like, this is crazy, and like, it wasn't for me. It wasn't I didn't notice anything different. So I've never seen the sub. I tried. I watched a movie with subbed one time, and it's like, I was just like, man, there's a fucking woman screaming into the fucking thing every time Goku. I just couldn't get into it. So I was like, I'm just, and it's the only movie that I haven't watched from Dragon Ball Z, and it was Dead Zone. That's the only one I haven't watched, and because I didn't find an English dubbed version of it. It was
I've seen the
Japanese subbed. Yeah, I would like to. I mean, I realized that today. I was ranking the movies, and I realized I'd never seen.
By the way, Zach does love women, just so you know. Like he's not prejudiced against women just because he got angry, about an old woman voicing Goku. Just so
cancel culture. Women must not voice men.
Yeah. That's appropriation.
Indians must be voiced by Indians.
No.
Yeah, I would say
nerds must play nerds.
Yeah, we had Will and I.
There's no such thing as acting.
Jumped on a Simpsons soapbox the other week. The character Apu got canceled.
Yeah, I'm just being silly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would just clarify that I grew up watching Goku, who didn't have exactly a super masculine voice, but when he talked, it was a dude talking.
Yeah.
And then like and then like he had like a not, it wasn't like Nick Nolte up there like
Yeah.
like you can see rocks falling out of his mouth while he's talking, but like but like it was like a pretty strong masculine voice. Not that women can't have strong masculine voices. My wife does whenever she's demanding I take the trash out. But
babe, take the trash out.
Yeah. But I would say that the it was very surprised. I was just like, that's a woman, and like she screamed, and I'm like, I can't watch this.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, and he's just like saying hey to his son, like, and I don't know the language, so it made it even worse. I'm just like, I can't watch this, man. I can't watch it. So I cut it off, and I've never tried to watch Dead Zone again. Yeah. So whatever. Maybe I'm just not a purist, but
I don't think I've ever watched a foreign cartoon with subtitles. Now that I think about it, I've watched live action films with subtitles, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, for instance. My stuff like that. Like I do like hearing the original actors' voices, and obviously it syncs up better, but not just like with their mouths moving and everything, but more of like the inflection, like you hear the emotion in their voice or the original actor. So that matches up too. But I don't think I watched Howl's Moving Castle, but they did an excellent job with the dubbing on that. Like
they did.
You could barely tell.
Ghibli Studios is high quality.
Yeah, I think Christian Bale even did one of the voices, if memory serves me.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we got about 10 minutes left. So let's see.
Are we doing a part 3 or is this it?
I think we'll cut it off here. Like,
okay.
Keep it to about 40 minutes. I think that's, I don't want to go too long. We still have our Japan Jaunt and Sci Fi Focus segments coming up after this. So, I guess you guys have kind of reflected on this and conveyed this in different ways over the course of the conversation. But Zach, something you mentioned just in us kind of prepping and talking about this is this was like, as a kid growing up, this was the first TV series you ever felt an emotional connection with. You want to share a little bit about that? Like just what it meant to you? Like, was this something I think you said you and your brother watched together all the time, if I'm right, right?
Yep. Yeah. So for me personally, I can't, this is where I can't really speak to other people, but I mean, growing up, I mean, my life was, there's some feedback there. But my life was a little different, I think than most of my friends. I split household. My mom worked 2 jobs. But like nothing really jumped out as a safe place for me and my brother until Dragonball Z. Yeah, there you go. Mute that. So, there was never really anything that kind of like, gave us freedom from where we were at or what we were, where we were experiencing hard places in life, where our mom wouldn't, would be out working really late or whatnot, and we had to figure out ways to like eat and survive and get groceries somehow. We're 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and so Dragon Ball Z was a big deal to us then. And then it gave me and my brother something to just kind of take our mind off of stuff. And that's why I think, like, even to this day, it means that to me. Where I'll rewatch the series whenever I'm in the middle of something hard, because it reminds me that, I've been through something hard and I'm on the other side of that now. And so And I think everybody has those stories. I mean, I don't even think Dragon Ball Z is the greatest show ever made. In my opinion, the greatest TV show ever made was House MD. I'm telling you, that dude had the sickest comebacks, bro. I'm telling you, he was harsh. Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah, it's a good show. Good show.
It was. I wish it'd come back, man. And it ended so perfectly. But anyway, so the characters from Dragon Ball Z, you know, almost every single main character besides Goku was a bad guy at some point and became good. From Tien, Piccolo, Vegeta, even Krillin was a rival of Goku's. Yamcha was a bandit who tried to rob Goku. You know, eventually, even in Super, Frieza comes around and works on the side of good. He's not a good guy, but he's beginning that redemption process, so to speak, I guess. So, like, as someone who's, you know, kind of like wrestled with seeing myself in a good light at times, it's nice to see these characters that were bad guys now accepted as good guys and doing good things. Even, you know, like, you know, one of my favorite episodes in the entire series is Vegeta. He gives himself over to Babidi and Richard. You know, for time's sake, I'm not going to explain it to you. But he gives himself over to this mind controlled demon who's going to empower him a little bit by taking away his inhibitions, kind of like alcohol does, right? So he takes away Vegeta's inhibitions and encourages Vegeta to fight Goku, his lifelong rival. And to the point that Vegeta, now a good guy, is massacring people, like killing people, just to provoke Goku to fight him. If Goku fights him at this time, it would mean that it would mean that the world is at stake. So like Goku's trying to talk him out of it, but then he realizes Vegeta's just going to keep killing people until Goku fights him. So, but later on, Vegeta sacrifices himself and blows himself up to save the planet. And when it's time, and when Vegeta's actions are counted up, and he makes that sacrifice, he eventually gets the halo, and he becomes counted as one of the good guys. At the end of the series, you know, the series, you know, is about all these different characters and whatnot, but that character arc wrapping up with Vegeta getting the halo makes the most amount of sense to me and jumped out. I mean, that was one of my favorite parts of the series. Vegeta getting the halo against Kid Buu when he's fighting Kid Buu. He has the halo, and you know, it tackled so many real life things in a way that didn't hide you from the fact that there's evil in the world, didn't hide you from the fact that we have to wrestle with evil in our own hearts, didn't hide you from the fact that if given the chance, people are going to continue to do evil things, but we can make changes. It may be hard, but a community of people are there to support you if you do that. So I loved that, and I still love that to this day. So, you know, that's kind of my go-to with Dragon Ball Z. Rugrats didn't have that shit. You know, SpongeBob didn't have that shit. You know, Rocket Power and all its awesomeness didn't have that shit. You know, Pokemon didn't have that shit. So, like, Dragon Ball Z it reinforced all that stuff. So, I don't know. What do you think, Will? It's interesting, Will.
Yeah, we unmuted you, Will. For some reason, we can't hear you, though. Are you unmuted on your end?
You're back on.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
It's getting loose. Might be easiest to just unplug and use your phone.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry, I guess that refurbished headset, there's something wrong with it. I loved everything you said, Zach. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I agree. There wasn't a whole lot back then that, you know, really had those kind of stakes and spoke to kids like that. Not on TV that I remember anyway.
Yep.
Well, cool, guys. Got about. Sorry, I muted you again there, Will. I guess we got a little bit of feedback again. Apologies for some of the technical difficulties, guys. We'll that's just something we run into when we're coordinating a lot of stuff with this. But I think we got some really good content here, really good discussion. Just enjoyed like hearing two of my friends talk about something that they really enjoy. I think just individually, I don't think I've talked to either of you a lot about Dragon Ball Z. Like I knew that you liked it, Zach. I knew your brother liked it, and I assumed that you liked it as well, Will. But I don't know we'd ever had a conversation. So this is cool. I've gotten to know you guys a little bit better, which I love that. And but yeah, man, thanks for coming on. And like we've discussed, we'll have to have you on again sometime. A couple possibilities, like maybe Magic the Gathering, a game you used to play a lot. Maybe come on and geek out about that, and maybe come on and do a rant for Star Wars: The Last Jedi at some point. Zach hates that movie.
Yeah, it's like top 5 worst movies ever made.
All right. Well,
and, hello, Mark.
Yeah, we got about 30.
Mark.
Oh yeah, we got about 30 seconds. So Zach, what's your last words to the nerds?
Well, first off, thanks a lot, man, for having me on, and congratulations on hitting 200 downloads.
Yeah,
love
thanks.
you guys.
You too, bro. Peace. Will's making a peace sign.
This is Cartoonist Will, and welcome to another Japan Jaunt. On today's Japan Jaunt, I've just got a couple of anime recommendations for y'all today. Now, a few years ago, I can't remember quite what year, maybe 2018, Zootopia was released by Disney and I believe Pixar. And so if you like furry and funny animal characters, anthros, or the dreaded word furry, that word is banned. Okay. So, jokes aside, if you like funny animal characters like I do, as a cartoonist that does Super Milo, a little cat superhero, and you like Zootopia, but you want to check out some anime, then I've got some anime for you today that is very similar to Zootopia, a little bit more adult though. First of all, we've got Brand New Animal, which is my personal favorite between these two recommendations. Now, Brand New Animal follows Michiru and Nazuna, two friends, girls, who are humans until one day they wake up and find that they have gained the ability to transform into animal people, like werewolves. In this universe, they're called Beastmen, and Beastmen have more or less existed in secrecy alongside mankind for ages, but now there is a Beastman city in Japan, on an island in a bay or something, which is a place for Beastmen to escape, to be just with their own kind, because there is a racism issue. And no, we don't really play too heavy into this during the series. It's more of an all ages series, closer to it, I'd say maybe young teen. So we're not going to get too deep into the philosophy of this show, but the colors are great, the animation is great, the beginning and end song is great, especially for me, the beginning song. I actually had that as my ringtone for a while there on my phone. Did I mention this anime is called Brand New Animal, B&A? I might have forgot that. I hope I didn't. But anyway, so it follows mostly Michiru. She comes to Anima City after she wakes up half animal one day, with the ability to transform back and forth from animal to human girl. She basically gets chased out by people. So you've got that whole X-Men thing there, that's really cool. I mean, it doesn't go nearly as deep philosophically as some media might go, but there's prejudice there between the humans and the Beastmen. So she flees to the Beastmen city, seeking refuge where basically she comes to understand and appreciate the Beastmen. You would hope that the Beastmen would do the same. I'm not certain that story arc is really resolved or come to fruition. So mostly, I guess humans are mostly seen negative in this show. The Beastmen just exist and they're tired of being hated. So it's more about humans coming to understand their Beastmen neighbors and to love them for who they are. So, and I did catch up by watching a couple of reviews on YouTube because it's been so many years since I binged this show. It's only one season. It's a very short season. So I saw in the reviews that a lot of people didn't understand why the Michiru character and the Nazuna character can shapeshift. Well, this is because they are yokai. Yes, coming off of our last episode, Michiru and Nazuna don't just turn into any animal, they turn into yokai animals. Michiru turns into a tanuki, and Nazuna turns into a kitsune. A tanuki is kind of like a raccoon-looking dog in Japan. I believe they can climb trees, but they're not raccoons, they're actually canines. Likewise, the kitsune is a fox, a type of canine. But in Japanese folklore, these two animals have the ability to shapeshift, giving both of them unique powers that set them up to be like superheroes of the city or something. I don't want to give away any spoilers. Michiru works with Shiro, who is very quickly revealed to be secretly this legendary beast man who's basically immortal and can't die. He's got like a curse on him or something. And the plot of the show is that something bad is happening in Anima City. The animals are starting to rage out, kind of like in Zootopia, where you've got that thing where the carnivores are starting to freak out and go bestial. Well, that same thing's happening in Beastman. Anyway, I love the show and I do recommend it. And there was a similar show like it called Beastar and Beastar was definitely for older teens or adults. And it does get a lot deeper, more philosophical, and I can really appreciate those points. But for me, I'm more of an most ages kind of guy. I didn't like the rabbit characters, the white rabbit characters' backstory, but that's only because, for me that was a little much personally. Not really the kind of content I want to watch personally, but real people out there, they do struggle with certain things about themselves and whatnot, so that was sad to hear that about the rabbit character, but no spoilers. I'm just saying that this isn't a show that I would necessarily recommend for everyone. If you can take sexual content, I mean, they're animals, there's no human nudity in the show, just to let you know, but still, there is sexual content in the show. And there are certain parts of the show that's just great and wonderful. It's about, like Zootopia, it's about carnivores and vegetarian animals coexisting together. Our main character is a wolf, and I reviewed B&A, Brand New Animal, more. I didn't watch any videos to catch up on Beastar. I think I can remember its plot a bit better, but so forgive me, I can't remember the character names right now. But so our wolf character, Leon, I think, I could be wrong, maybe it's not Leon, but he basically falls in love with the white rabbit, but he's afraid. He doesn't know if he really loves her or if it's just his carnivore instincts that want to eat her and devour her. There are animals, carnivores, that do go rage bestial, just like Zootopia, just like B&A. So, these three shows, they all came out around two shows and a movie came out around the same time. I don't know if they influenced one another. I don't know if Japanese people were like, oh, hey, Zootopia came out, it's good, let's jump on the bandwagon and make money. I don't really know why these shows came out around the same time, but I recommend all three for different audiences. I think B&A might not be as deep or philosophical as
Zootopia or Beastar, but I definitely recommend B&A. It's a really fun romp. It's for most ages. I'd say young teen. For parents out there, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I was just going to say, review things. I'm not saying Beastar is for kids. Anyway, so Beastar, just because I mentioned it, let's talk about the plot a little bit more. The animals are trying to become the Beastar, which is basically a star of a theatrical world. They're all in high school. It revolves around them working on a stage play, but obviously we also have the whole Zootopia, carnivores don't get along with herbivores, and they're going to eat each other thing, and can we survive? And there are, it definitely goes, it's more mature than Zootopia, definitely. More philosophical than Zootopia, definitely. So if you really like Zootopia, but you thought, well, that's just too kiddie for me, then Beastar might be for you. Anyway, we have once again ran over our time, so I'm going to say sayonara for this week's Japan Jaunt. Just as a conclusion overview, check out Beastar and B&A. That's Brand New Animal. B&A for most ages, and Beastar only for adults or older teens. Anyway, y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
There I was, sitting in a comfy recliner, beer in one hand, popcorn in the other. Will was sitting by my side. Together, we were eagerly awaiting the opening night showing of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to begin, when what should come on the screen? 10-foot-tall blue aliens prancing across a sky bridge, massive bows in hand. "It's about damn time," I blurted out. "It's only been 13 years. Yes, dear nerds, the Avatar 2 teaser trailer is finally here, and I am simultaneously excited and disappointed. Excited that the film finally has a release date. Disappointed that it took 13 long years for us to get here. Mr. Cameron, the wait had better be worth it. No pressure, by the way. Your first film only made $2.8 billion at the box office, so, you need to at least clear $3 billion. Seriously, though, I loved the first Avatar film. Yeah, I know, the villains were two-dimensional characters, the plot was stolen from Fern Gully, or was it Pocahontas? And try as we might, none of us nerds could catch a glimpse of a Na'vi areola. But that movie still rocked our collective world, did it not? I was supposed to see it in IMAX with friends, but I couldn't wait and went to see it in Real D 3D because it was the only showtime I could make it to that day. Then I went to see it again, this time in IMAX 3D, and I was blown away. Then I went to see it 2 more times that summer, and I would have seen it when it re-released the following summer, but I missed it. You get the idea though, right? I loved it. Avatar was the kind of film that was meant for the theater. It might have been the first movie which was designed and filmed with IMAX 3D in mind. I don't think I've had an experience in the theater since then which could come close. Maybe Avengers Infinity War, but that's it. So, I've been waiting, and waiting, and waiting for the sequel. And I am excited. One of the elements of the first film I loved was the close connection to nature which the Na'vi demonstrated. They had evolved a truly symbiotic relationship to their planet. Their way of life is something we humans have lost, it seems. Experiencing Pandora in all its glory in IMAX 3D immersed me in the world of the Na'vi. It brought the idea of pantheism to life for me in a way that seemed almost illicit at the time. Rather than an all-powerful humanoid god ruling from a throne way up in the sky, separate from his creation, Ewa was literally a living, sentient organism made up of all life on the planet. As the head biologist, Grace, attempts to explain to one of the villains, The network of tree roots under Pandora's surface had more connections with each other than the human brain. A sentient forest. How could someone not be amazed by that? In my opinion, we increasingly urbanized Homo sapiens need to be reminded of our connection to this planet. We are not the most important organisms on this third rock from the sun. No, we are only one species among millions. And we have for too long arrogantly assumed that we have a right to exercise dominion over this world. We have no more right to that than any other species. Just because we can dominate others does not mean that we should. So, let's do everything in our power, including making more gorgeous, immersive films like Avatar was, and I expect Avatar 2 to be, to deepen our connection to this planet. Maybe someday, before it's too late, we can learn to live in harmony with our world. Are you ready? Let's begin today.